everybody, this week on ANN News Kids we'll be talking about the Australia earthquake, the North Korea response to South Korea, the UN General Assembly, and coronavirus statistics. In the Extra Fun segment, we're talking about oak trees, and the country of the week is Kuwait. Unfortunately, nobody guessed it this time. In the Period Your Career segment, we are talking to Greet Meulepas, who protects the Black River District Hope Spot in Mauritius. Her insights and her journey is incredible, and I really hope you enjoy. Please subscribe, share, and like this video because we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you. A 5.9 magnitude earthquake in southeast Australia damaged buildings in Melbourne, a city in Australia. Even though this was one of the biggest earthquakes in Australia recently, there wasn't such horrible damage. Large earthquakes are rare in Australia because the continent is in the middle of a tectonic plate. The country is currently in lockdown due to a recent wave of coronavirus cases. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, responded to South Korea's call about ending the war by saying that the war could be ended if South Korea ended its hostile policies. The two countries had a war that ended in 1953 with an armistice but no peace treaty, so technically the two countries have been at war since then. Their relationship has always been tense, but hopefully from now on, things will get better. In Joe Biden's first speech in the General UN Assembly, he was longing for global cooperation during this decisive decade. His longing is because of the tensions with Afghanistan's US withdrawal and the France diplomatic row over the submarine deal. He also confirmed that US is not seeking any Cold War. Coronavirus cases around the world are slowly decreasing. The total coronavirus cases in the world are 231 million. The total deaths are about 4.7 million, and the recoveries are about 208.5 million. The top 5 countries with the most cases are USA, India, Brazil, France, and Russia. And the top 5 countries with the most deaths are USA, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Peru.
Could you please start by introducing yourself?
Yes, okay, hello. My name is Greet Meulepas, and I studied biology and marine and equestrian sciences, and I am a professional diver, an underwater photographer, and I'm Mission Blues champion of the coastal waters of the Black River District Hope Spot.
Wow. Can you explain to us what you do in your job?
Okay, my job, I do it together with my husband, Olivier. Both of us are divers, and we make underwater documentaries. So we go diving together. I take pictures and he films. And for the documentaries, we use these images and we build a story and I narrate them. And we use mainly our documentaries just to inform the people and to participate in contests on a global scale about underwater documentaries. So we spend a lot of time underwater diving, and we spend a lot of time editing as well. We also share our images on social media. We share little clips or pictures, and we add a little text of information of the animal that we see, just to inform the people about the underwater world.
Wow. And could you tell us a bit about your journey so far?
My journey so far, it's okay. I studied as a biologist. Well, I studied biology and marine sciences, and I started working as a scientist, but I quit my job because I wanted to travel the world. And I became a diving instructor in order to do so, because I had two passions, nature and travel. And I found that these two passions were best combined, traveling the world as a diving instructor. And at a certain moment, I met my husband. And when we went diving together, we started taking underwater cameras with us. At first, to document what we saw, because at that time we were living in Bali, Indonesia, and the biodiversity of the underwater life is enormous over there. There were so many species that we never saw before and that we didn't find in books. So we started to document just to make it easier to identify what we saw. And but after a while, we also wanted to share what we saw with the rest of the world, because we felt pretty privileged that we were there and we could see all these beautiful things. And after a while, that turned also into wanting to raise awareness, because we noticed that the oceans were in a decline, they're in trouble, diversity is going down, there's and less fish to see, etc. So we wanted to share what is there, how beautiful it is underneath the waves, and we wanted also to raise awareness as in how important it is to protect the underwater life. So that's where we are now.
Wow, that's an incredible journey. And what do you enjoy the most about your job?
The diving. It's always, for me, it was always something, every time I got the chance to disappear underwater, it felt like coming home. It feels like there's a weight coming off your shoulders and you're free. It's, to me, I think it's the closest thing to being able to fly. And it's also a wonderful way to see wildlife, because if you go diving in a healthy ocean over a coral reef, there's wildlife everywhere. You don't even have to try. It's everywhere, and it's so diverse, it's so colorful, it's so amazing to be a part of that world for just an hour and to observe all these fish in their busy lives. And I think of, if you compare it to trying to find wildlife on land, let's say if you want to go walk in a jungle, it's very hard to see an animal over there. And you have to either track it, and you have to be very, very quiet, and you need a guide who knows how to find the animals, or you need to be extremely lucky. But otherwise, you just walk in a forest and you don't see an animal. And if you go in the sea, you see so many beautiful different kind of animals everywhere, and the small and the big and the strange and the ugly and the beautiful, it's all there. So yes, the diving is a big passion of mine.
Wow. And how would you say that the ocean has changed in the past few years?
It's a sad story. Even when I started, I felt I was born too late, because I started out as a diving instructor working in Egypt, and there were veteran diving instructors telling me, 20 years ago when we went diving here, we saw at least 20 sharks on one dive. And I think I saw, in the course of 10 months, I think I saw 5 sharks. in total. So that's a big change. You see the amount of animals, especially the big ones, that you can see on a dive is becoming more and more rare. You see less and less. You see less and less big fish. You see less and less big schools of fish. And the corals, obviously, the corals are in a very bad shape. Everybody knows. Sometimes it feels like diving over a graveyard, and it's a very, very sad truth. But there's things to do, and that's we try to be hopeful and to be productive and to focus on solutions.
Wow.
And, that's why we want to start nurseries, coral nurseries all over the world. People are setting them up, and they are effective. And this may be our chance to improve things again.
Oh, that's really sad. And what is your advice to kids?
My advice to kids. First of all, it's a tricky world we're living right now. And because it's very double, there hasn't been so much information available like there is now. You need to know something and you just check the internet and you can find it. On the other hand, there's so much misinformation available as well. And if you're not careful, you're misinformed, and it's probably as bad as being not informed at all. So, but I would say inform yourself. Go actively looking for the things you want to know. It's there. You can educate yourself on anything, everything. So do it. But also be careful how you do it. Make sure that you check and double check what information you find. Make sure that what the sources are scientific or are trustworthy. And I always think a good place to start informing yourself is maybe Wikipedia, and then go from there. Because it's very important to be informed. We can't change the world if we're misinformed or not informed at all. We need to be informed. That's one. And then do what you're passionate about. It's so important. If you have a dream, then go for it. It's hard work. You need to work for it. You need to go for it, but just do it and don't give up. You only fail if you give up. So go for what you feel passionate about. That's it.
Thank you so much. That was
Well,
amazing.
it was. I hope it was good.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me speak to your generation.
Yes.
It went really well. We
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it, and we learned so much. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Well,
thank you. Well, good luck with all of it. I think it's a wonderful idea that you do.
Thank you so
much.
All right. You have more questions?
Oh no, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
it?
let you know when we post it. We'll probably do it this Sunday, and we'll send you a link.
Okay. All right. Great. I look forward to it.
Perfect.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. Have a
See you
great
soon.
day.
Bye.
Yes, you too. Bye.
Bye. Hi everybody, for the extra fun segment, we'll be talking about oak trees. I hope you enjoy. Oak trees can live up to 1,000 years old. They start their lives as acorns, but only 1 in 10,000 acorns grow up to be oak trees. Oak trees produce about 10 million acorns in their lifetime. Oak tree forests that are a few hundred years old can grow up to 45 meters in length. Oak trees are the most widely spread and oldest trees on the planet, and they have been around for about 65 million years. The oak tree is a national tree of United States. The largest living oak tree is in Louisiana, in USA. It's also one of the oldest oak trees in the world and has lived for about 1,500 years. Thank you, and I really hope you enjoyed these facts on oak trees. Kuwait est un pays de Moyen-Orient. Sa capitale est Kuwait City et sa population est de 4,8 millions d'habitants. Kuwait possède le sixième plus grand réserve du pétrole du monde et l'un des plus grands opéras du Moyen-Orient. Le dinar kuwaitien est la monnaie la plus chère du monde. Le Koweït a une scène musicale très riche et les tours de Kuwait, Kuwait Towers, sont 3 tours élancées à Kuwait City. Le tissage sadou est l'une des cultures très populaires en Kuwait. Merci.